Tomorrow I will, Eric. Okay, so on the section 1 of page 25, just the evens you had to do on that. Anastasia, we'll start with you. What did you put for number 2 on the first section? Good. Number 4, Andy? Good, negative 18. Eric, number 6? Good, negative 11. You didn't have to do 8, but did anyone do 8? Gigi? No? Maddie? Good, positive 5.5. Alina, number 10? Good, 6. Number 12, Anna? Good, negative 14. Number 14, Eric? Good, 108. So there's section 1. Make sure you check them. As always, we'll come back to questions in a couple minutes. Madison, bless you. Section 2, number 8. Good, 3. Number 10, Marissa? Good, 3. Brianna, number 12? Good job. Number 14, Nathan? Good, 50. So there's section 2. Make sure you've checked yours. Okay, section 3, Will, number 10? Good, 1. Luke B, number 12? Good, 6. Number 14, Brian V? Good, 4. Kevin, number 16? Kevin, you need to do your homework. Eric? 2.4. Number 18, Anastasia? Good job, negative 1. Okay, so there's section 3. Make sure you've checked those. Before I go over questions, or answer your questions, let's go to page 51, please. Okay, page 51, number 5. Marissa, what does your number line look like? Good. Open circle above 1, arrow going to the right. Number 6, Madison, what does your number line look like? Good. Open circle above negative 8, arrow going to the left. 7, Brianna? Good job. Number 8, Anna? To the right. And here's that's when you have to pick up and flip around, remember? And then whatever way it's pointing, make sure it goes that way. Where was I? Okay, number 9, Luke B. Close. If it can't equal something, can you have a filled in circle? Oh, no. So what should it be? Good. Open circle because it does not equal 8. So you need to have an open circle, arrows going in both directions. Okay. Nathan, 11. I mean 10. Good job. Sorry, I had it up there. X is greater than 4. Open circle above 4, arrow going to the right. Will, number 11. Okay, thank you for being honest. Alina, number 11. Good job. So X is greater than or equal to negative 4, filled in circle, arrow going to the right. Eric, number 12. Good. Open circle going to the right. Gigi, 13. No, you're right. You got it. What was it above? Good job. Okay, so 13, as Gigi said, X is less than or equal to negative 6, filled in circle going to the left. Since 14 is already up there, you should have X is greater than negative 180. Open circle, arrow going to the right. Okay, questions on any of those? On that page? No? Okay, how about page 25? Any of the equations that you need me to go over? Brianna, what number? Okay. What section was that from? The third one. Okay. Okay, I need everyone to take out either your blank piece of paper that it says to have on the board or your notebook. Okay, while I'm going over this. Okay, so 18 from the third section. I need all of you to write this down, please, so that we're all reviewing this together, just so I can make sure that you're good enough with these for us to move on tomorrow. Okay, so 18 is 7 minus 3 in parentheses, x plus 2, all equal to 4. So this is 18 on the third section. So make sure you jot that down. Okay, so this is a multi-step equation. We did see these and do these last year in pre-algebra. What is the very first thing we need to do? Anyone can tell us. Anastasia? Good. And then what happens to the 7, Anastasia? Good job. Drop down the 7, and then we're going to distribute the -3 through. -3 times x is -3x. -3 times 2 is -6. And then all equal to 4. Brianna, I know you asked about this one, but what do you think the next step is? Good. What are those called? Good job. Like terms. So combine those. 7 minus 6 is 1. And then rewrite your -3x equals 4. Okay, now we're down to a 2-step equation. Gigi, what's the next step? Good job. So -1 minus 1, this goes away. You're left with -3x equals 4 minus 1 is 3. And then our last step here, Brian V, is what? Good job. Divide both sides by -3. You end up with x equals -1. You okay, Brianna? Okay, so you forgot to combine like terms. Correct. Because you can still do it that way as long as you do it correctly. So whatever you prefer, I like to combine like terms first. I just think it's quicker for me, but you can pick the way. Just make sure you're adding or subtracting correctly. Okay, anyone else on page 25? No. You guys are okay with the fraction ones? The ones where you have to get rid of the denominator? Yeah? Okay. I don't know. Okay, on your blank piece of paper that you're on, I want you to write down, this is number 14 from the second page, or the second section. Number 14 is W over 5 plus 6 equals 16. So I want all of you to write that down. W over 5 plus 6 equals 16. Just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, whether you got a question about this or not. Make sure you number them, please, okay? Okay, so what kind of equation is this? I'm going to ask you guys because we've done these a lot, at least last year. We've done these a lot. Brianna? Good. It's a 2-step equation. Luke B, what's the first step we need to do? Good. Move the constants to the other side, so -6 on both sides. We have W over 5 equals 10. Okay, now here's the reason I put this up here. How do you get rid of the denominator of a fraction? Anna? Okay. Good job. So multiply both sides by 5. Kind of like multiplying both sides by 5 over 1. 5 times W is 5W. 1 times 5 is 5. 5W divided by 5W is 1W, or just W. And you should remember that from yesterday as well as last year. 10 times 5 is 50. So you probably got that, but just to go over the steps there. Any questions on anything to do with fractions? Sure? Okay, so you guys are good with the homework. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down so I can make sure, please. Okay, good. Are you guys bored? Too easy. No, let's make it harder. All right, open up your notes to page 7. You guys are all sitting there like, oh, come on already. Okay, page 7. We ended with letter N yesterday, so I'm going to do this a little differently with you guys. I want to do some of these with you, then I'm going to have you try some before we move on to the homework. I know, I'm hitting the arrow too many times, sorry. Okay, letter O on page 7. Looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to skip around a little bit because you guys and girls don't need all of these, but let's start with O, okay? When I taught this to you yesterday, what's the very first thing I told you to do on an inequality like this? Raise your hand if you know. I know some of you are ahead of me. What's the very first thing I told you to do? Gigi? Good. Flip the whole thing around. Good job. Put X on the left-hand side like Gigi said. If we could pick this whole thing up and flip it around, that's exactly what we're doing. So 8 minus 2x moves to the left-hand side. 6 moves to the right-hand side. And then you're flipping the inequality sign around, so it changes from less than to greater than. Luke B, you're on page 7, right? Okay. All right, so flip it around. Now I believe you. Now we're down to a 2-step inequality. So Marissa, what's the first thing we need to move, and how do we move it? Good job. Minus 8 on both sides. Those of you that are ahead of me, did you all subtract 8 on both sides? Okay, we're left with -2x greater than -2. Madison, what's the next step? Good. Divide both sides by -2. If you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative, Andy, what happens to the inequality sign? Good. It flips or switches. So -2 divided by -2 is 1. That cancels. So you're left with x. Greater than switches to less than. So we're going to rewrite it as less than. -2 divided by -2 is +1. So x less than 1 is the answer. So let's illustrate this on our number line. Kevin, what kind of circle goes above 1? Good. Open circle. Do you remember why it's an open circle? Good. It's less than 1, and it cannot be equal to 1. Anastasia, is our ray going to the left or to the right? Good. Our arrow, or if you want to call it a ray, because basically it is a ray, is going to the left because it's less than 1. Okay. Coordinate plane. Let's just put 1, 2, 3 here. Maddie, since it's less than, what kind of vertical line do we have? Good. Dashed or dotted line going through 1. Maddie, why is it dashed and not solid? Good. It's just less than 1. It cannot include 1 in regards to your possible solutions. Alina, it's less than. Are we shading to the left or to the right? Good. So we're shading to the left. Okay, and that's a little messy, but you get the point. So this tells us that anything less than 1 is a solution of this inequality. If I were to take -2 right here and plug it in for x, is -2 less than 1? Yeah, right? If we took -8, is -8 less than 1? Yes. This green area represents all possible solutions of this inequality, or you can go back to the original. But it's always going to be a true statement if you plug any of that in. 1 does not work because 1 is not less than 1, right? So, bless you, never going to work. Okay, questions or comments on that one? Okay, let's flip over to page 8. I want you guys and girls to do letters T and U. And when you're done, put your hand up. So I want you to do letters T and U. I'll write it up here. Okay, and then after you solve, graph them. I'm going to walk around with my purple pen and check them off to make sure that they're right. Keep going. Just making sure you guys are doing the right process. Sorry. Oh, man, you're quick. Okay, you're still working on that one, right? Okay, good job. Oh, something happened here. What's 6 minus 2? Yeah, that's okay. It's one of those tired days, huh? I'm just kidding with you. Good job showing your work. Much better. Just don't forget about your graphs. You can come back to the graphs later. Make sure after you guys and girls solve that you also graph them. I'm going to come back around again. Okay, Brian, if it's equal to that number, should you have an open or closed circle? Okay. There you go. Okay, you still working on this one? Okay. Try that again. How'd you get 11 over there? This, oh, here, Luke, it says -16.
Oh, negative.
That's fine. Those negatives are a pain, huh? Okay, something happened here. What's -16 minus 6? Wait a second. Oh, you subtracted the wrong thing. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It should have been -5, not -6. You know what I mean? Good job. Okay, where's your answer, Gigi? 3 point. Good job. Good. And then don't forget the color on that one. That's fine. Do you have your calculator? Okay, you're good. Do long division. It'll be good practice from last year, Kevin. You're good. I'm just looking at your work. Good. Good. Keep going. You'll get it. Oh, we need to fix something. Okay, you have to subtract 5 from both sides? Okay, you did. How'd you get 7 over 3? You put 3 goes into it.
32.
Yeah. Just divided wrong. 7 over 2. Nathan, good job. Okay, about 30 more seconds to finish up your graphs. Just about all of you have the answers. Do you guys like this chapter better than 13? Some of you? Okay. Just curious. Okay, doesn't matter. Any math is good, right? Let's be positive. All right, let's go to letter T. I know some of you are still shading, but that's okay. Marissa, can you just tell us your answer for letter T, please? Good, x equals 9. And I know I checked just about all of yours, but in case I didn't get to all of yours, make sure that your x-axis or horizontal number line has a point above 9 filled in. Okay, and on the coordinate plane, I typically will just count by 2s. You guys can scale it how you want. Just make sure on a test or quiz that you write the scale down so I can see it. And then, Eric, what kind of line do we have for an equation? Yeah, good. Straight vertical line and it's solid. Well, that's not so good. Make sure it's straight and it's going right through 9. Okay, obviously that's not straight. Okay, any questions on how you get 9 on that one? Okay, Andy, letter U, what did you get for your answer? Good. X is greater than or equal to 3.5. On the number line, you can scale it by decimals. I saw some of you did 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, etc. That's fine. For some reason, I always do integers. I just guess I must have always done that in high school. So I just do the integers, and then I'll just put the point between the 3 and the 4. Luke B, open or closed circle? Good. Filled in circle, closed circle, above 3.5 or on 3.5, your call. Greater than or equal to. Anna, is the arrow going to the right or to the left? Good. Okay, and then on the graph, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have a solid line going through 3.5. And then Brianna, are we shading to the right or to the left? Good. Okay, so you're going to color to the right over here. And here's all possible solutions. In this case, it includes 3.5 because it's greater than or equal to. Okay? Questions on that one, on any part of it? Okay, flip over. Let's go to letter W. I am going to go at a normal pace through this one. We did a lot of these last year. Does anyone remember when we were distributing fractions, what did I always have you do with the terms inside parentheses? Oh, a couple of you remember. We haven't done this for a while. Maddie? Good job. I always had you put a 1 underneath it. And then one other thing that I don't know if I mentioned last year, but I want you to cross off the negative that's in the middle of the fraction and put it with the 1. So the negative 1/4, I know this was confusing last year, that entire fraction is negative. Pick either the numerator or denominator to put it with. That way it's not confusing when you're distributing. Good memories, guys. Okay, so let's distribute. Negative 1/4 times p. Negative 1 times p is negative 1p. 4 times 1 is 4. I'm going to go quickly because you guys should know these. Negative 1 times negative 12 is positive 12. 4 times 1 is 4. All greater than negative 2. Now, also from last year, after we distribute, what did I have you do at this point? There's 2 things, but only one of those works for this one. Will? Oh, okay. You could. Now, that's what I normally had you do if something else did not occur without me telling you the answer. So hold that thought. Luke B, simplify what? Good. So 12 divided by 4 becomes 3. So if this works out nicely, Will, and anyone else, divide that. Save yourselves a headache. Save yourselves some time. If this does not work out nicely, last year we found common denominators for this number, so it was easier to add or subtract. Okay, but don't do that. If this is nice, don't do that. So let's simplify. Negative 1p over 4 plus 12 divided by 4 is 3, all greater than negative 2. Is everyone clear on what we just did? Okay, Kevin, what's the next step? Good. So minus 3 minus 3. It's a 2-step inequality, so move that to the other side. We have negative 1p over 4 greater than negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. Bless you. All right, Nathan, how do we get rid of some of the fraction now? Good job. So multiply both sides, not just one side, make sure it's both sides, by 4. Get rid of the bottom of the fraction first. Some of you last year liked to flip it and multiply it by the reciprocal. If you still like to do that, I know last year I gave you options. Since you guys are 2 years accelerated, that's fine with me. Gigi? That's okay. That's fine. Did you understand, though, how I put the 1 up here? Did you? Okay. Or the negative with the 1? With the 4? That's fine. Okay. So the 4's cancel here if you did it the way I did. Okay, we now need to divide by -1 to get rid of the negative. Eric, when we multiply or divide by a negative on an inequality, what happens? Good. Flip the inequality. So we have P less than, the screen's hard to see, P less than, because greater than flips to less than, -20 divided by -1 is +20. So P less than 20 is the answer. Yeah, the green's hard to see today for some reason. So on our number line, let's do 19, 20, 21. Alina, what kind of circle do we have above 20? Oh, it's P less than 20. So can it be equal to 20? If I said you're less than 20 years old, can you be 20 years old? Okay, good. You're not, and no, you can't be because I said you're less than 20 years old. Okay, so open circle above 20, it's not equal to 20. It's less than, so Alina is less than 20 years old. Okay, I'm not, Miss Wingrove's not, but you guys are. Okay, so open circle going to the left. On our graph, I'm going to count by 5s. Okay, so less than, Brian V, do we have a solid or dashed line? Good. Dashed line going through 20, and it's less than, so shade to the left. Oh, a little messy, but you get the point. Questions on any part of that one? Okay, one more problem I want to do with you guys and girls. So at the bottom of your note packet, we're not going to do example X if you want to use that number line. So I want you to add this to the bottom or where example X is. Again, you guys should be good with these, but in case you forgot them. 3/4 X does not equal 2. So technically it's a 2-step or a 1-step depending on how you do it. We're going to do it in 2 steps. Okay, we need to get X by itself. What was the first thing I had you do on these last year? First thing. Would be? How, though? Nope. We have to move the fraction, but what's the very first thing I had you do? Okay, Alina, do you remember? Nope, not divide. Kevin? By? Okay. Well, okay, you could do it that way. What I usually had you do when we took notes was multiply by the denominator first and then divide by the numerator. If you prefer to flip it and take the reciprocal and multiply both sides by 4/3, you may have that option. Just make sure you're doing it correctly. If you multiply by 4 first, they cancel on the left-hand side. You're left with 3x does not equal 2 times 4 is 8. Would be, do you remember that? Okay. All right, and then Andy, last step. Good. Divide both sides by 3. So x does not equal 8/3. From chapter 5 last year, what mixed number does that become? Gigi? Or decimal? Whatever you were going to tell me. Okay, 2 2/3. Okay, can someone else tell me from chapter 5 last year what decimal? Anastasia? Good. 2.6 repeating. You can have it in any of those forms as long as you simplify completely. However, I would suggest or recommend that you change it to a decimal. That way you know where to put it on the number line. So one more question. On the horizontal number line, how do you illustrate, whoops, x does not equal, is what I should have had there. How do you illustrate x does not equal 2.6 repeating? Brianna? Good. For the coordinate plane, how do you do it on this number line? Good. Open circle, arrows going in both directions. If you didn't hear her, for the coordinate plane, she's right. Put a dash or dotted line through 2.6 repeating, and then color both sides. I just don't have room up here to do that. Okay, good job. Questions on anything we did? Okay, so definitely tomorrow we are going to start proofs with these, which we did not do last year, but you guys will be fine. You just need to make sure you're really good at solving these and you've mastered them so that you'll be fine with the proofs. Okay, I need you to open up your homework packet back to page 25. And you're going to do the odds of each section. So if anyone has a sibling or friend in 9th grade and they need help, please be nice and help them. I'm just kidding. Odds. Really? Yeah, you guys won't be with them for very long. We'll see how things go. Maybe. Okay, so page 25, the same from last night, but instead of evens, I want you to do the odds of each section, just like yesterday. Do not graph them, just solve them. I'm going to come pass out loose leaf. Raise your hand if you need loose leaf. Okay, keep it up for like 30 seconds. Did you count? Were you timing me? That means I don't have to run after school, huh? Who else needs loose leaf? That's it? Okay. All right, go ahead and get started. We have about 8 or 9 minutes. Please make sure when you get to sections 2 and 3, show me some work. I know for the first section, you guys really don't need to show work. It's just one steps. But when you get to 2 or multi-step, show me some work. Okay. Anastasia, did you do all yours by accident? Okay. Do you need to check any answers? Just check. Why don't you check your answers just to make sure? I'll be right there, Kevin. Let me just stop the recording.